Hello and welcome to the Vault Publication Podcast once again.
I feel like we should be like businessman stancing.
Yeah, alright.
I'm your host, Joe Rogan.
And I'm your co-host, Ro Jogan.
And we have a guest today,
Yo.
Ho Wogan.
Yeah.
What does Joe Rogan even talk about?
I don't know.
Yo, look at this! Like, did you know that, like, frogs are gay? No. I can't, yeah. Anyways. So yeah, we have, so Daniela's been on the podcast forever. And
Now
Holden.
I'm in, like 3D.
Yeah. It's first time on the podcast?
Yep.
It's Holden.
Yeah.
So,
We were just talking about jerking off to Slipknot.
yeah. They were saying what your Tekken 8 main says about you.
Yeah.
You can go on about that if you want.
That video was just like, I don't know. It's just like some of the like roast that this guy said. It was like some of them like make a lot of sense. Some of them are just like, bro, what?
I mean, I've only seen the thumbnail, but the thumbnail said Lily Main's explaining
That's,
why it's gameplay necessary to see her underwear, which I think is accurate.
No, that's a different video. Like,
that's a separate one?
yeah, no, there's like, some of them are just like, this shouldn't make any sense, but it just really does. Like, for example, if you like Dragunov mains, you have nothing good going on in your life. Your wife has divorced you, and you just spend most of your weekends like mud wrestling to get like a free beer or something.
Is that guy the like edgy like?
Dragunov's a Russian.
He's the guy who doesn't say anything.
Yeah. He's always like.
He's straight up never talks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. He just doesn't like it.
Dude, I've seen like people are horny about him.
I don't know. Like, okay, I showed my sister a picture of this guy, and she said that he looked like he was like 40 or something, and I was like, yeah, he's 27.
He's 27.
and then she was like, oh,
he's the oldest 27-year-old on Earth.
and she was like, oh, that's
Okay.
somehow he looked worse from Tekken 7. Like in Tekken 7, he just kind of had some like a scar on his mouth, and now.
Yeah, I remember he had like scars. And
Yeah,
shit. I played
now-
Tekken 7 for a little bit.
Oh
but, like,
shit, really?
No, but
Tekken
like
8,
I
he
was
looks
really
like-
bad.
Who'd you play?
I thought Bob was funny because he's fat.
Bob's hilarious because like he's really fat, but he has a like really fast movement.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
I watch a streamer who was like a serious Bob main. He's so mad that Bob isn't in Tekken 8.
He'll be there.
not?
Trust me.
Not yet.
He's gonna be there. Like, I think number 1 on my list for DLC, I want Marduk back.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, he's cool. Like his intro is that in 7 is that he just throws a car. Like,
That's all you need.
He's doing a McMaster student cosplay.
Topical.
His
That was
gameplay
last year.
and just-
2 years ago. Even.
That counts.
This guy's gameplay is just like complete bullshit because he's horrible at everything, but he just does insane damage, and that's his whole thing. Like, people say that he's the best at making comebacks out of anyone on the roster. There's a difference between making a comeback and just straight up robbing people. Because there's a mechanic in Tekken 7 called Rage Drive.
Yeah, where you get low enough and it gives you a special move.
Marduk's Rage Drive is completely broken in that game and just gets rid of half of your health. So if you're at low health and if you're playing against a Marduk and he's at low health, you should fear for your life because it does not matter how much health you have. You're probably gonna die if he gets one hit off of you.
Dude,
That is.
my favorite part about Tekken 8 is that they introduced another mechanic called the heat gauge.
Heat
so now you
gauge.
have people being like, oh man, Dragunov's in heat.
Dragunov.
Like, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I know,
because he's
no.
in heat now.
Dude, Dragunov is so busted in that game. Like, I saw some gameplay and I'm like, okay, that is a lot of plus frames. I don't want to play against you.
Dude, have you seen Victor? Just like,
I don't know what the hell
hell's a
Victor
plus
is. Like,
frame?
okay, fighting game stuff.
I'm not good at
so
fighting
if
games.
this is
Yeah.
If you
I should play
attack
fighting
somebody
games.
and they block, like, your attacking animation needs to finish and their blocking animation needs to finish before each
Oh,
of you
so
can
their
attack again.
advantage
Yeah,
over
no,
you
his-
is-
So if you're plus when they block, they call it being plus on block. That means that you're gonna recover faster than they do.
Oh, so if you use a very fast move.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but-
it's like,
okay.
oh, yo, this move's like +9, then you can like frame trap them. But if your move is like -11,
Yeah.
they can just
Right.
recover and
But
punish
also
you.
usually very high like plus unblock moves are kind of slow. So like
Yeah,
the
that's
thing
the
with
trade-off.
Okay, so
It's hard to get them out.
There are different archetypes in Tekken, and Dragunov is a sort of like every character has like 3 different archetypes they specialize in. Like they go in order from like most to best. For example, like Dragunov is like a sort of oppression type character, which means that he has a ton of plus frames to keep the opponent in place.
Okay.
And he also he has long reach and also like poking. Those are his 3 sort of archetypes. And yeah, that's this whole thing. So he has long range, big damage, big plus frames, and but the only problem is that he's kind of slow, and you can kind of sidestep his stuff easily.
Yeah, Tekken's fucked because you can go.
Yeah, I know.
3D.
It's just it's 3D. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I main a complete sociopath.
That's his.
Okay, so
what does Brian do though?
okay, so
Kill
Brian.
people?
Okay, well, okay, so specifically Brian's.
shit.
Okay, so his fighting style is he just kind of use like standard like U.S. military kickboxing. He kind of like just basic punch kicks. He throws some like elbows and stuff here and there. And that's like so the couple of reasons like that's kind of a basic fighting style like compared to everyone else. I just did it because like when I was younger I used to do like kickboxing and stuff, and I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. And it's like, and also it's just when I did some research on like who this character actually is, I was like, okay, so apparently he is an undead cyborg who used to be in the military, and he just exists to cause chaos, and that's it.
His win
But he's so
animation
sick.
in
His
Tekken
win
7
animation's
was
so
that he
much.
just continues to beat your
Yeah,
unconscious
beat the
body.
shit. Yeah,
I
you
know.
mentioned that in the meeting.
Yeah, and he also has a new one where he just fuck, someone's calling me. Give me a sec.
Dude, answer your phone call. Image of Dragunov.
Yeah.
That looks a little bit less depressed than in.
I don't know. I like how
Also,
for
we're back.
his redesign they just made him like 100 times more Russian looking.
27-year-old.
He looks kind of Asian.
Way. No, he's. Well,
Okay,
I mean,
but Russians are Asian,
well, yeah.
kinda.
To be fair, like
Dude,
Russia and
don't
China
tell
are
them that.
like right next to each other.
Well, yeah.
So like that.
Exactly.
There is some. Yeah, that makes a lot of
Taking
sense.
not
That makes a lot.
race relations in Russia are their whole fucking field, dude.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what I was saying is, yeah. So Brian's whole thing is that he was a ex-military guy, like undead cyborg, who literally has like no mercy for anyone. He just only exists to kill people, just for no reason. There's no sort of like motive behind it. And yeah, so two of his win animations show that he's just a complete psycho. So first one, so yeah, most win animations in this game either show off a character's personality or like they say some like sort of funny
they're
like
recorded.
quote or something. Like for example, a character named like Hwarang, who's like a taekwondo.
he's
I love
He has a
Hwarang.
motorcycle. Yeah, my sister does too. Yeah, it's like he has like a motorcycle and everything, and he just kind of like he says some like
He
smart.
does the like Acura slide.
He says some like smart ass. He says some like smart ass quote, and then he just drives away in the motorcycle or something. He's like, man, that was a waste of time. Now Brian just continues to keep punching your unconscious body, which is like, okay, sure.
People die when they are killed.
And then he has
I did bad on a midterm yesterday because I spent all my time thinking about Hwarang instead of
Oh god.
studying.
And this guy now has
I didn't do
a
that bad.
new win animation where he's firing a minigun.
Oh yeah, you said this. Yeah, the
and-
Gatling gun
yeah,
one.
The gun jams and he just gets so pissed he throws it at the screen. Like he has I don't know why Brian just has a thing for throwing stuff at things.
That's
Especially
what you
at
do.
the camera. No, especially at the camera. 'Cause
Breaking the fourth
that's-
wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, he knows you're out there and he hates you.
yeah, he kind of hates everybody. I don't know what his deal is, because like his lore is kind of weird because he was in the military and then he became a cop where he ended up
Average cop moment.
Yeah, average
he ended up like getting killed in the line of duty, and he was brought back as a cyborg where he just decided, all right, I'm gonna go kill people. Why not?
Average
And
veteran.
the thing is like. You'd expect someone like, he died and like he was a cop and everything. You may have assumed that he was a good person, but even before he became a cyborg, he was still a horrible person. Like,
Then why did they choose him to put the cyborg in?
well, I don't know. He just kind of died, and there was this one guy who's like, oh, like this guy has this guy was like has the right qualifications for this. I don't think he knew about his past at all.
Or maybe he did. Maybe he was like, dude, I want to murder robot.
Yeah, Dr. like Abel or whatever the hell his name is, like he's a
Brian
mad
did kill
scientist.
the guy who made him, by the way.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, he was
Like, awesome, you revived me,
Dr.
and then he just
Frankenstein.
kills him.
No, this guy
Kind
was
of.
just evil from the very beginning. I don't know why, it's never explained, but like when as a cop, he was like, he would always like take bribes and like let people like let innocent people like criminals like walk and stuff, and he like hurt innocent people. He was like the type of guy who's like he'd pull you over and say you have a headlight out, and then you just break it right in front of you. Like that's the type of cop that he was, and yeah, he sucked. So yeah, he was always a complete psycho, and the minute he became this like ultra powerful, like near unkillable superhuman, he was like, oh, okay, I can literally do whatever I want now. That's what he does. Now he only exists just to cause problems for everyone. But given how bad the Tekken universe is, with people like with big mega corporations starting world wars and like demons and stuff, like I feel like he's kind of the least of everyone's concerns.
Yeah, he is
just one guy. What could he possibly?
He did. Okay, so there was this one time in like the 6th game, I think there was a cutscene where he went into a random war zone just to like kill a bunch of people. Like he wasn't fighting on any side. He was just kind of just causing destruction.
He just wants people to die.
This man saw a helicopter flying in the air, and the minute he saw it, and he just grabbed a steel beam out of a destroyed building and yeeted it at the fucking helicopter, and it crashed directly into him, and he just walked out of the flames like nothing happened. He was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like every time this guy shows up in a cutscene, it's probably because he's going to either kill something or cause like property damage. Like this guy doesn't really I've heard criticism. People say, oh, he's too simple of a character and he doesn't really have much going for him. I'm like,
it's
okay,
it's fucking fighting.
I'm like, but I'm like,
one of the characters is just a bear.
Yeah, no, him.
But to be fair, he's part of a multi-generation.
Sure,
bear is in
yeah.
heat.
There's also a panda.
Oh yeah. And so the thing with Brian is that him just being some guy who just causes like destruction stuff. That's kind of like the end of his story. It's like his arc is kind of completed.
Yeah, he
like,
sucks.
He went through. Woo. Yeah, he just. I mean, is he really like the most evil person in this game? Because like there are some horrible people in Tekken. Like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, again,
he doesn't have a. I mean, yeah, he can. He's pretty strong though. Like the only reason he hasn't completely destroyed the world, like, he can easily take. He can like so there's this thing called the Mishima Zaibatsu, which is like the big powerful big powerful company that is stronger than the UN, by the way.
I mean, like on terms of like scale of like single evil guys, Kazuya has a forehead beam that he uses to like blow up satellites.
Same with Jin.
Yeah, Jin blows up the earth in one of his endings.
Somehow Heihachi is the least bad out of everyone in the Mishima family.
See, I feel
he threw his son off a cliff,
didn't he?
They all do. They all do.
Like, oh, he did that because he knew he had the devil gene, but he did that to be a jerk.
Yeah, no, he was
like, not only did he throw his son off a cliff, he adopted a bear and raised it instead of his son, and he likes the bear more.
And then the bear died, and then there was another bear. It's a multi-generational sort of. Yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying, so he's just the like Brian, the reason he hasn't completely destroyed the world is because he could easily take over the Mishima like Zaibatsu. He want to have all the resource to like cause all the chaos he wants. He could. I think he.
Because he has the forehead.
I know, but I think Brian could. Like he doesn't care. But like the only reason he hasn't done that is because he wants to destroy the world all by himself. He doesn't want any sort of help from like military resource. He just wants to do everything himself.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very manipulative person. Just seems.
No, he just wants. All he does is exist to hurt people, and like his hobbies consist of like I went on the Tekken wiki. His hobbies consist of just like destroying stuff, being alone, and collecting cigarette lighters. That's just kind of a random like fact of information. I'm like, okay, that's why.
Dragunov's ending in 8, his like little character ending, he builds little model tanks. He's a gunpla enjoyer.
Yeah, he's a gunpla enjoyer.
His whole thing is that he works for the Russian government and he's just on the clock. That's like his whole thing is that like his ending is like he gets time off and he builds little model tanks.
Isn't Dragunov one of like the more evil characters in this game?
Well, he's just doing his job, man.
I mean, that's said.
Well, I mean, yes, he's doing his job, but he always somehow ends up on the side of like like Kazuya or something.
Yeah, man, he works for the Russians. It's like Brian is there because he just likes to hurt people. Dragunov's there because they pay him.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what this man's deal is. Just do what's okay. One thing that's like really crazy is that. So one character I really wanted to learn in Tekken was Steve, and I'm like, I assume that he'd be a simple. I'd assume.
Minecraft.
Okay,
Steve.
Steve's whole thing is that he's like a boxer and everything.
That guy.
I'd assume. Which
Oh yeah, he's the
that's kind
British
of weird.
guy.
Like when I said British, I thought there was some boxer card. I was like, oh, I thought that he'd be based off like like something like Jack Dempsey or something like that. He's like famous like Olympic boxer from like the 1940s. He invented a lot of like techniques and stuff.
Or it's like a trope.
No, apparently this guy's British, which honestly makes more sense because like traditional boxing was kind of invented in England, so that makes a lot of sense. And I assumed that he'd be a simple character. He's like, okay, so he doesn't use kicks at all because, obviously boxer and everything. So the kick buttons are replaced with him literally like doing this weird like dodge, basically. He just kind of weaves.
Punch your feet?
Yeah, no, he just kind of weaves basically, like, like boxing and everything. And he has 7 different stances that do all these other bunch of different things that all flow into each other in his combos. And like, this guy is just someone who punches, yet they're able to make that insanely complicated. Which, I mean, I appreciate on Tekken's character design, because boxing is a very, like, deceptively complicated sports.
Yeah, in real life.
And the fact that they were able to translate that into this character is very cool. Because like Steve's a character who has a bunch of different styles of boxing in his kit. Like, because he has such a big moveset. It's like he can play defensively. He can like be more like evasive. He can do like he has a lot of plus frames in some of his attacks. Like he can kind of just do anything. Like he's pretty much like, I think there's one guy to describe it as like all the greatest boxers in history, like all rolled into one guy.
He's the boxer.
That's how he fights. Also,
that's Tekken.
Tekken, baby.
And it's just recently they actually added like I think there's like some like the Muhammad Ali like shuffle or whatever. The thing they added that into Tekken 8, and I'm like, okay, that's that's cool.
It's an homage. Well, that's the thing about fighting games, like good fighting games take from real life.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's what they all. Good fighting games, like
bad fighting games take off other fighting games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One thing. So yeah, like one thing. Yeah, Tekken has very good character design. Cause like even in it shows their personalities. Like you can see it through their gameplay and like who they are as a character. So like I said with Brian, for example, compared to most characters, if you look at his like the way he fights, it is very like most characters when they move, it's very like fluid. And things like that, because people are doing those martial arts stuff. All of Brian's moves are incredibly stiff, basically, and that's
because he's a cyborg.
Well, yeah, he's a cyborg, and like all of his
there's another cyborg.
It's because
there's 2 other robots.
It's because his movements are just like completely perfect and precise to the point of being inhuman, and like the way he fights using specific kickboxing, it's a very basic and fundamental like fighting style. It doesn't have anything fancy to it, and that makes a lot of sense. Also, it kind of highlights his like military background, basically. It's like. Yeah, so the character design kind of shows like through their moveset, which is kind of cool.
My favorite character is Leo.
Leo.
They answer the question, what if a little German boy was non-binary?
Yeah, Leo is such
the guy with the actual tiger head, or like
no,
Leo
that's
Lion?
King.
Okay.
Oh, that's King. Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I hate to break to you, that is a mask. That's not actually.
Fuck.
But he never takes it off, and he never breaks character.
Yeah.
He's actually the second king.
Well,
he assumes the title from.
There are so many different kings. There's
4 kings in total.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I can explain it quickly. So there's the first king who was in the first like couple Tekken games, and he was just a pro wrestler who ran an orphanage basically, and he wanted the money from the King of Iron Fist tournament to for his orphanage. However, he ended up dying. I don't really remember how he died, but it's just
died.
He had a feud with a guy named Armor King.
There's Armor King, and then there was like King 2, who was one of the kids who was raised at the orphanage, who like he became a pro wrestler, and that's the king
now
that we know. And then there's Armor King, who's like King's rival. There was a first Armor King.
Wait, there are 2 Armor Kings?
Yeah, there are also 2 Armor Kings. So Armor King basically.
You got 2 kings. You got 2 Armor Kings.
Okay, they're different. But both have a Jaguar mask. One just has armor and stuff, and one has like a gray Jaguar mask. One has a normal color Jaguar mask, and their fighting styles are very different. Like one uses sort of like luchador, like sort of like Mexican style of pro wrestling, and one uses like Japanese like pro wrestling. Like they have different styles, which I've always like appreciated. And so so there's one Armor King who was killed by this one guy named Craig Marduk. He's kind of a dick.
Oh, Marduk.
He's kind of a dick. That's like even in his gameplay, he's just like he's kind of a dick. And then there's another Armor King who's like the other guy's brother, and he's like, "Hey, you killed my brother, man. It's like I don't like you that much." and that's how it goes. Armor King is 100% gonna be DLC in season 1 for Tekken 8.
Season 1.
Yeah, 100%. Like we already got Eddie. He was confirmed as a character. Eddie's
the guy who goes like this, right?
He's like it's capoeira. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's all I remember.
Capoeira is a like a fighting style invented by these by some guys. So like back in the day when like like slavery was still a thing. So Portuguese like slaves basically
In Brazil,
they
or?
Well, I mean, the Portuguese were the.
it was around Brazil.
Colonizers.
I know yeah no it was basically like these guys you know what I mean. That's like basically these guys were like, okay, yeah, we want to try and like escape slavery, so they invented a fighting style that they could disguise as sort of like a dance basically. So that's why capoeira kind of looks.
I know, yeah, I remember that.
That's why capoeira kind of looks like breakdancing,
Yeah.
and it works. Like this is actually like it was a practical martial art. 'Cause it like there are some like stories from like soldiers who kind of worked under those like like plantations and everything. They said these guys are very hard to pin down. This like I don't know what the hell they're doing, but it's working, and they can fight dudes on horses with this style.
I heard there are people who actually like turned it around and now like re-practice it as a dance. They like do like
yeah.
No, there's troops that do.
There's a lot of like
performances.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of traditional. Like I don't know what the exact name of it, but there's this like ritual where like there's two like capoeira fighters who kind of like spar, and there's a guy playing music, and they're all in like a circle and stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, it's more like it's also it's not just like just fighting. It's like there's a lot of like culture behind it, like a lot of other martial arts.
Yeah, and they do it as a performance rather than as fighting.
Yeah. Kind of like that's what. Yeah, it's just he's first DLC for Tekken 8, and I was not looking forward to it because I hate playing against Eddie. Everyone who plays him are just button mashers. Because you can just mash the same two buttons over and over again, and it keeps transitioning to like different stances that he does, and it's so hard to read. Basically, it's like they're Eddie players are absolute war criminals at lower ranks.
Dude, I was casually mashing it, trying to get back into Milia and Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh god!
My favorite thing. She's got one move. It's called Iron Savior. But
what's Iron Savior again?
It's the haircut where essentially she just like her hair is like a prehensile and sentient. And that she just like slides across the bottom of the screen. It's my favorite move because you can see it coming from the full screen away, and it hits people every time. I can just like I hit them, and then like I just do it again.
Wait, what floor are you at?
I'm on the bottom floor.
Okay,
I'm on floor 2.
Okay, that's probably why.
I know.
That's probably okay.
Like,
is that the ranks system?
Yeah, no, Low, very low. Yeah, Guilty Gear is a weird rank system.
They have it where like it's a tower with separate floors, and you can always go up, but if you're too high ranked, you can't go down.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. That's most.
It's like an anti like smurfing thing. Anyway, so
they hate those blue fucks.
Guilty.
I actually hate Smurfs in every single game. Just so you know,
yeah.
I fucking hate them. They ruin everything.
I know.
I've never Smurfed in my life.
I agree with you. Okay, so in Guilty Gear, so actually I made a very similar character to you. I played Chip, who's like Millie and Chip are.
Chip beat my ass when I was playing. They're stopped.
Okay, the thing with Chip and Milia is that in the matchup, like between Chip and Milia, I think Chip wins because first off, yes, Milia may have like insane air movement and all this other stuff, but Chip is just really fast, and he's also good at everything. He has really good defense, really good like pressure. He's like, okay, Milia may have better mix-ups and like Oki than him, but like, actually. I don't know about Oki because like there's like Alpha Blade and like
what is I keep hearing Oki.
Okay,
Oki?
Okizeme.
Shit, you can Okizeme is wake up attack.
Shit.
Oh.
You can
so it's when you are running Okizeme, it's when you've knocked down your character and they're invulnerable while on the ground.
Yeah,
so you want to attack so they can't get
I don't know. It's like I know Milia has better mix-ups. I think Chip has more options when it comes to Oki, especially at the wall, because he has like the wall run like Alpha Blade shit he can do, and it's just like the command grab and stuff. Chip is the thing I love about this character. He is an unstoppable god essentially. He is good at everything. All of his attacks, his normals, like he's just.
I mean, he's not. You don't see him in tournaments.
Chip, I mean,
No.
Chip. Well, Chip's a very good character. Also, it does depend on the region though.
Yeah, it's true. I
Like,
don't know much about like European.
Yeah,
Japanese,
no, it's like
but in North American
I know.
tournaments,
Yeah,
it's dominated.
Okay,
Like,
in North America, everyone's opinions are influenced by memes, and there's a Chip is okay. I don't know. Chip is kind of like, despite being such a strong character, Chip is a bit of a joke in the community.
They never put him up there on the tier list, dude.
Okay, well, I don't know. He's like top 10 though, like for characters. But the thing is, I believe Chip's a perfectly balanced character because he is good at everything. But there's one weakness is that he has the lowest health in the entire game. So if you get hit once, you are just completely dead. So he's the fastest movement. probably some of the fastest attacks in the game. He has all kinds of weird gimmicky bullshit. Like he can literally teleport. He has like teleports and like you know he can summon like shadow clones and like.
Isn't he like muscular as fuck? Why would he have low HP?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, that's just the default.
Well, it's because if he had normal HP, he would be the most broken character in the entire game. And also, I think there's a lore explanation for it. So Chip is probably one of my favorite fictional like characters in general because okay, so his lore is that. He used to be like severely addicted to heroin. Like he used to be like hardcore like drug addict, like orphan guy, and his life was kind of shitty. You know, he constantly had debts that he owed to like the mafia. I don't know where he's from at all. Like
he's from the
States.
underground.
Like
I know where in like I don't know where in like where in the States he's from.
I mean, to be fair, he's also from like what is it? 21 something.
I think it's to be honest.
And also the apocalypse has happened.
I know. It's like to be honest, I feel like Chip is probably.
And also, we hit Second Crusade.
Yeah, Chip is probably from some area where like the mafia is really prominent. I'd say like maybe somewhere like around New York, maybe.
I mean, the most important thing about him is that he is a weeaboo.
I don't know. Okay.
What?
Okay. Let me explain. So yeah, Chip is an American. He is a ninja basically. He fights like he every single movie has just a Naruto reference. He's like a hardcore ninja. He's like a hardcore ninja. But the thing is, he's white.
Yeah.
He's from the U.S.
He's the white ninja. And he wants to be president, so he founds an African country.
Yeah. So it's like, what happened was like basically the mafia was kind of hunting him down. So they hired these people called the Assassins Guild, and they sent after one guy who
Assassins are my favorite.
Decided not to kill Chip. He's like, you know what, man, I see you had a hard life. I'm gonna train you to be like a ninja and like, like show you about like Japanese culture and things like that. And he's like, all right, sure.
This is after the island of Japan has been destroyed.
Yeah. I forgot. Plot of Guilty Gear: Japan gets nuked for a third time. That's the plot of it basically.
Wait a second.
No, I'm serious.
By a giant robot.
I'm serious. Yeah, that's basically the plot of it. It's just. So yeah, Chip basically gets trained and stuff, and then when his master gets killed by the Assassins Guild for not doing his job, he goes after him. He's like, no, this is not what my master would have wanted. Revenge is not the right way. So then he goes to South Africa and like establishes a country there.
What?
I'm serious. Yeah, he just finds some random ass place in South Africa. He's like, I can change these people's lives for the better, and he just like becomes the president of an entire country. For some reason, the UN never invites him for meetings though, because they probably don't
recognize.
He's kind of a fucking crackhead. He's a complete crackhead. Like, okay, even though he's off like drugs and everything, like after like all the ninja training and things like that, he legitimately thinks he's the main character of this franchise, even though he's like far from it, basically.
I mean, who is?
Like, no,
Soul bad guy.
Not Soul bad.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
it's not him. It's like every time there's some threat to the world, he's always like the first person trying to rush in and help everyone. He usually is.
But his name's Bad Guy.
No, not Soul. No, not Soul.
Not Soul.
Not Soul. It's like Chip.
Chip.
Chip is like he's like, oh no, I am a hero basically. I'm going to like basically,
His theme song is called "Play the Hero."
Yeah, no, he legit just thinks he's the main character of the franchise, and he's just like every time something bad happens, he's like always the first person to try and rush in and like help people. Because like I don't know, that's a cool thing. Like. And the crazy thing about Chip is that
isn't that a good thing?
He has the story of like in any other franchise he would be like the main character, but he's just kind of like the comic.
Guilty Gear's so fucked up then.
Guilty Gear's so fucked that this guy who went through all this like like all this pain like triumphed against like every bad thing in his life. He curbed his drug addiction. He became like this like hero who basically like stops like like in South Africa like I'm pretty sure like he like saved this one country from like a bunch of like warlords or something. I think that's like he literally like did all this, like he's a legit like hero basically. He did all these things, but in any other but because of his guilt, he's like the joke comic relief character.
I mean, he is a weeaboo.
Yeah, well, okay.
I love anime.
Okay, to be fair, Japan is not really around anymore, so he really doesn't know where to like draw from when it comes to Japanese culture.
I mean, but it is funny that like he hangs out with Anji and Baiken, who are actually Japanese.
I mean, him and like Angie are pretty good friends though.
Oh yeah, have you seen you probably haven't seen it, but I think all the time about the Marry a Man video where it's like a joke song about like frat bros where it's like where it's like we're on spring break. It's like where you gotta like drink and bang chicks and then also plan your wedding and marry a man. Anyway, it's like a video they made of just like Chip and
Yeah, it's I don't.
We need the yaoi, my man.
Okay, I mean, okay, I have this like I don't know. I have this one headcanon that like Chip does not like date anyone or like he hasn't gotten like married at all because, okay, so he has this one assistant guy named Answer who's like this business. He's like a ninja, but he wears a suit and his main weapon is magic business cards that he put like jutsus on or something. It's weird. Guilty Gear is really weird. I don't. Okay, so that's his assistant who does all the political stuff for him because Chip doesn't know a single thing about politics at all. he doesn't know a single thing. So like he just has this guy going, and this one headcanon I have is like one time, Answer like walked in on like Chip like having like a nice dinner with like a body pillow or something.
He would,
and he's like, dude, we're having a moment here. Get out. And he's like.
Wait, headcanon or this happened?
This is a headcanon I have. It's like so that's he's in a very committed relationship with a body pillow of like
I would believe that.
I don't know of like who
common weeb behavior.
I don't know of like who, but like
some random piss low anime wife.
Yeah, I don't think it would be like a lolly though, because like as much as a weeb Chip has good morals. That's his whole thing. Like he's like the most like pure good he's one of the most pure good characters in this franchise.
I mean, Kai Kisk exists.
Okay,
besides his whole shit.
Yeah, but like Kai then again
Kai is very I know. I do love Kai.
Kai was also like
my Catholic boy.
A legit war criminal, by the way. Like
everyone was a war criminal.
Yeah, but except Chip. Chip was he was just a victim of like not having parents and also a heroin addiction. So like I
mean, everyone. Milia was an orphan who was raised by the Assassin's Guild. So was Venom.
It's like
Biken's whole shit. May's whole shit.
May.
That's like in Guilty Gear. That's just like that's how it is, man.
Everyone's suffering.
I don't. Okay,
and they fight each other.
The world was ended, my dude.
It's like every character. I'm here. Okay, I think it's fair to say every character has some skeletons in their closet in one way or another.
Guilty Gear's about that. It's literally about accepting yourself and the state of the world.
Yeah, and then punching everyone else.
Well, it's interesting. Because like originally, like the plot of the first game was like they did the like and everyone's here to fight each other in a tournament.
That's why it's called Guilty Gear. Everyone's guilty and they have gear.
No, there's the Guilty Gear is Soul.
Soul kind of killed his wife.
He didn't kill his wife.
I mean, Justice is like technically his wife. And
I mean, they weren't married. They were maybe engaged, but also they were both turned into gears. And then the real injustice here is that in between XX and Xer, they took away Justice's giant mecha cock.
What the fuck?
She had this giant codpiece thing.
I need to bathroom real quick.
Have fun. I need to talk about Justice's giant mega cock, which is that it was this big robot that had this giant spike in the crotch, and then when they did the next game, they it was it's just a giant woman, and it's like, dude, no, she needs that.
Is it functional?
I don't know, man.
Cock.
Dude, we need a cock button on that soundboard.
I think I actually have a pretty good soundboard voice. I should learn to be a voice actor. I could definitely.
Say cock. Do your soundboard voice.
Cock.
Dude, you sounded like the
cock. Vibes Radio.
Dude, we're gonna start cock radio. It's only penis music.
Cock Radio, where we only play penis music 24/7. All gas, no brakes. All balls, no pussy.
You're keeping that in.
Leave your soybeans at home. Because we're serving up pure testosterone. Yeah. I've also dead ass I want to actually train my voice to have a feminine singing voice.
I'm the opposite. I want my voice to be deeper.
Really? I mean, you can train that, I think.
You can.
But I want the singing voice so I can sing like a girl. I have no intention of actually being trans, but I think it would be very funny.
for the bit.
Because my vocal range currently is actually quite big. I can sing like up to 3 octaves below my lowest note.
Can you do high pitch for smaller cock radio?
Well, here's the thing. The thing is, I need to work on my timbre because you can still clearly tell that I'm a guy if I try to make my voice high, and I want to like not do that.
You want to totally pass so that you can do cock
Small cock radio.
All right.
You sound a little Mickey Mouse.
Kind of, yeah.
Small cock radio. Where we have small penises and no balls.
Bro, what bro, what did I just walk in on, bro?
Or
Like, what,
Unix FM.
what the fuck?
We were talking about cock radio.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so I actually have a funny story. So like, so back like when I was in high school, I was always that like friend who would just kind of show up and just like to like a circle, just say or just something random or just say something completely just random and stupid out of nowhere. Like I don't know. It's like I just show up and be like, hey, yo, I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night, and I came up with a conspiracy theory about how like furries are a tool used by the oil companies or something. I don't know.
Dude, furries are the opposite.
Okay, so yeah, true. Okay, yeah, true.
Almost
There
every
are Nazi furries.
That is,
There are
I know.
Nazi
That
furries.
is, by the way, that is a true story. I was very sleep deprived one time, and I just came up with some really weird shit. Looking back, none of it made sense, but like in my head, I was like, yes, it all makes sense now. I
mean, having an active imagination is
It all makes
good.
sense.
Like,
I don't know. I was just going insane. That's it's yeah, and
it's good to go insane.
It was
You're creative.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's like I came up with some really good like story ideas for like when I was like sleep deprived. And anyways, I was getting off track. So one time I went up to his one friend. And was like, hey, yo, how do I do like the fucking like e-girl voice? Because I want to try and scam people out of their credit card information. How do I do that? Like and I was like, I do that. I was like, I tried figuring out. I was like, I couldn't do it, bro. It's like,
maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
Scam people out of their credit cards. No, I'm not doing that.
yeah,
What the
no,
hell?
don't.
Dude, speaking of, I've been like, this is an Alex phrase, but like not to be like the slop eater and then complaining about the slop. But
Bro, what the fuck kind of phrase is that,
one
man?
of my like guilty pleasure YouTube genres is corporate VTuber drama videos.
Oh, yeah, what we were talking
Speaking
on the
of
bus the other
scamming
day.
people out of their money.
Oh, for
Oh,
fuck's
You should
sake.
become a
yeah.
VTuber if you can do voice training.
Okay, but no, it's already like a well-known fact that like a big chunk of VTubers are just dudes
I mean, I would say
with
that
models.
like not that many.
Well, the corporate ones aren't.
Yeah.
Because the corporate ones like verify
They understand,
that
like
they're
they
girls.
now like with
But also, like,
Well,
in
what the
general of, like, from what, at least, I mean, I can't be verified, because all of the indie VTubers I know are also trans, but that
Oh,
is,
wow,
like,
interesting.
a big part of it.
Give me a second.
They're trans and they're furries. It's, like, a huge chunk of them.
There's one that's not technically a VTuber, but there's like a person who's like well known in like my music scene who lives in Hamilton.
Is this the penis musician?
That's the penis musician. Yeah, the penis musician. It just reminds me of them.
Oh.
They're like probably less than 3 kilometers away from us right now.
Dude, this is why we're cock radio.
Sorry. I was just. Oh, thank God. Okay, I was just. I'm reading patch notes for a game I like, and they fixed some bullshit that I was having a problem with.
Dude,
Good.
okay.
Oh yeah, it's for.
We haven't done grievances yet.
I play. For
You don't
context,
have to.
I play Dead by Daylight. There's this one There's this one killer called the Onryo, or like the girl from The Ring. Basically, she is one of my mains. I don't know. I just think she's cute.
How
I
many
don't know.
characters are in
Don't.
there?
Okay. So it's like I think 30 something.
They should add the Joker.
What, 30 something?
Okay, 30 something killers first off, and some of them are licensed, like they're from like actual franchises, like like Texas Chainsaw, Scream, like
Wait, what?
Resident
I didn't know
Evil.
Dead
this.
by Daylight is the horror franchise.
It's like
I mean, I know what Dead by Daylight
it's like
is,
horror.
but it was like,
I love this game. I have wasted
they
so
got
much
like
time.
Jason in there.
Not yet. They don't have Jason in it yet because gotta love lawsuits because no one can fucking understand who owns what. So that's nice. But they got that cleared
the
up.
Alien from Alien.
Alien just showed up. That's probably the
They have
most.
Mr. X.
No, they have
Nemesis.
Nemesis and Wesker. Wesker's full voice acting, by the way, which I love because like
They have Leon Kennedy in it,
I
and
know.
he moans.
yeah, so like it's just Wesker's in it, and he has full voice lines, and it's just I know this is a horror game, but it just completely takes me out of it when I use his like power, which is like he kind of like he has this power where like he can like charge up to like Ouroboros thing, and he has 2 dashes basically where he can like grab people and like slam them into walls and stuff, and like he can throw survivors and stuff and like punch them. It's like I think they adapted his power pretty well. From like, and he has so many different voice lines, and like it just completely takes me out of it when I like down a survivor and this guy's like, "You're merely postponing the inevitable." Like, and I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, this man's a Saturday morning cartoon villain in a horror game, and it's like it completely takes me out of it. It's like Dead by Daylight has done so much random shit that's like it used to be a horror game, but the minute they added a character who was literally just a K-pop idol with a baseball bat who was throwing knives, the minute they added that, this game just completely went off the rails. And it's like there used to be an argument. It's like, does this fit in Dead by Daylight? This argument does not exist anymore because anything goes. Because they recently collabed with fucking Nicolas Cage.
Just Nick Cage.
Okay, yeah,
not a character.
No.
Nicolas
Nick Cage is in the game. He's a survivor in this game. Specifically, the one reason why he saw his son playing the game, and he's like, I'm about to be a good dad right now.
I mean, if I was Nicolas Cage, I would do that.
I'm about to be a good dad right now. And then he literally put himself in the game.
That's so
I would do that.
I know,
he's a Nick Cage main. What can I say?
Yeah. I don't really play Survivor. I
would be annoyed if I'm like, it's my favorite video game, and my dad's like, I put myself in the game.
Also,
I'd be like,
funny thing is,
alone.
Nick Cage voices himself in this game, and it's so goddamn funny. And it's just, he has specific quotes for certain kills. Like if there's like Michael Myers, for example, when he activates his power, like the sort of like the Halloween theme plays.
That's who I was thinking of when I said Jason.
Yeah, and then Nick Cage, like if he hears that, he's like da 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 da, shut up. Like he's just like he's just like, I love his voice lines. Also his like perks basically, which like every survivor has like perks that kind of give them the ability to do certain things. That's why you
play different ones.
And I really like, well, I mean, perks are interchangeable. Survivors are basically
are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Fortnite style.
Okay. Yeah, and basically,
but the killers aren't.
I know. Yeah. No, killers have perks, and they're also interchangeable. Their powers are completely unique to each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Nick Cage is like, when I saw like what some of Nicolas Cage's perks do, I'm like, I feel that it literally, all these perks feel like Nick Cage literally went to developers and told exactly what he wanted him to do.
I mean, he's Nick Cage.
Like, that's how collabs kind of work.
He's like, he's like, this is me. He's like, here's exactly what I want my stuff to do, and this is how you're gonna do it. And
I mean, his kid probably told him.
I know. Yeah, I know that. I know that, and I thought that was pretty cool. But it's just,
you can say my dad works at Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, no. Dead by Daylight is it's made by a studio in Quebec, by the way. It's made by
yeah.
This game is it's like a bunch of for like French dudes basically who make this game.
I love killing people.
Somehow, okay, just I don't know. So. But yeah, just like I was just looking over like some patch notes. They like fixed, like there's like some change that they made to a killer that I like. A lot of people did not like the change, and they fixed it. And I'm like, all right, yeah, it's cool. I don't know. I just made the girl from The Ring for whatever fucking reason, because she's fun. Like she can literally manifest in and out of reality and like turn invisible and like teleport through TVs and stuff. Just like in The Ring. And there's these things called like condemn stacks, where if your survivor's near a TV and you teleport to it, they build up a thing called condemn stacks. If they build up 7 of them, because 7 days, The Ring, and you can just insta kill them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Like you don't even like. Usually in Dead by Daylight, you have to like put someone like on a hook like 3 times, and then they die. Kind of like in Texas Chainsaw, like when they put on meat hooks and stuff. But no, with Sadako, which is like the girl from The Ring's name, I just call her Sadako. That's because that's her actual name. And
first name basis.
So it's the Japanese version of The Ring. That's like the good one.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have to hook people if you're playing well enough and you can like teleport to like TVs and you know what you're doing, then you can just insta kill people. Basically.
I mean, that's like a different win con. Right?
I know. Yeah, she has a different win con, and that's like the survivors can like take out like the tapes out of the TVs to like prevent her from teleporting to them, but they like build up build up sort of like condemn like faster. I think that's how it works. I don't really know. Correct.
That makes sense.
Just it's kind of a cool mechanic. You really they're really putting in like the attention to detail when it comes to like.
I mean, Dead by Daylight is supposed to be like a horror game, but now it's also seen as like a competitive sort of game, right?
This game is not a competitive game at all. It is the funny thing about Dead by Daylight. It is the most like broken, glitchy dumpster fire of a game. Like
why do people
ever
play
played.
it?
It's fun. That's
Okay,
why,
that's
because
fine.
it's fun.
Can I tell you about my favorite YouTube video? It's called "Can You Say George Bush" in Dead by Daylight, and it is
What?
a stream clip
What?
of 3 dudes, and they're like, well, originally only 2 of them playing Dead by Daylight, and one of them can say George Bush in the chat, and the other can't. It censors it,
Bruh.
and they're trying to figure out why. They have a third friend come in, and it only censors Bush, but not George.
Oh,
And they
God.
like do this,
Okay.
but over the course of like a couple minutes, like the censoring changes on
Oh, really?
each of them. And they're all from like 2 of them are from different sides of the U.S. One of them's Canadian, and they're trying to figure out like what
Wait.
and it's really fun.
But
like,
isn't everything server side for that? Like,
I don't know.
yeah, but it's it's very funny. It's a very good video.
There's some. I think.
They're like testing it. They're like, write Osama bin Laden. They like get into a match and they start like pestering people. They're like, say George Bush. Can you say George Bush?
There are weapons of mass destruction in the entities realm. We must go. God damn. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know. It's just like I have encountered Dead by Daylight is a very weird community, and I have encountered some like very strange things. So one time, I got kind of drunk one time. I don't know why. Like I don't know. I had some like I had some beers that my uncle gave me.
You don't need to justify yourself being drunk.
Anyway,
It's fine.
I got drunk. I had no idea. They're like the really like tall cans. I had no idea how much alcohol in it or how much I can take because like this is like one of literally my first time like ever actually getting drunk, and I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I was like, bro, there's a lot of alcohol in here, and I was like, okay, what's something I can do while drunk? And I was like, okay, I'll play Dead by Daylight. Playing video games drunk is a horrible idea because you are not going to play well. So like I knew I was drunk, so I'm going to play one of the easiest killers. This guy named the Legion, who's like just
Don't
sorry,
actually take that.
sorry. The Legion is a guy. The Legion is just a guy with a mask and a black hoodie who just kind of stabs people. That's his whole thing. He just
Dude, it's the inside.
no. Well, four of them. Also, he does have a girlfriend, so.
I mean, it doesn't stop him.
Well, okay, yeah, the Legion, he's just a normal dude whose whole thing is like, he has a very cool power called Feral Frenzy where he like basically moves faster, and if he stabs a survivor, he can like see their outlines of like where they are. Like you see this whole like, there's a thing called Killer Instinct, which like a sort of like you can see their heartbeat. It's like a red sort of
so you
flash.
can see where they are.
You can see where they are like when you're just running and stabbing people. And like when you stab someone, you injure them, and you put them in a state called Deep Wound where they have to get rid of it, or else they can't heal basically.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. He's like a very sort of like slowdown killer. Very annoying, by the way, like for Survivor's side, because you kind of just run and stab people and like all this other stuff, and like you can like vault over windows and stuff, kind of like a Survivor basically. He's basically like a Survivor role playing as a killer. That's his whole thing. And if you chain 5 stabs together, the last one is an insta down.
Okay.
But the only problem is that's very hard to land because people know how to counter this killer. He's not very good. He's like C tier, but he's just so goddamn
There's a tier list for
annoying.
the game. Why isn't
There
it
is
actually competitive?
so goddamn annoying. He's just so goddamn annoying that it's just like I don't. But yeah,
The community is full of people who like to watch.
I know. I feel that. Yeah, it's just, I like the Legion because they're easy to play. They're really fun, and their themes. They have some of the best chase music in the entire game. Because like so. Dead by Daylight's music is a very underrated aspect of the game. It's like every kind of like a horror movie, like every character has their own sort of like special music when they're chasing someone, and because the Legion, they're from the time period, they're just like some like edgy teenagers from the 90s. It's just like hardcore like metal stuff. That's what their chase music is, which I mean like, yeah, okay, that's cool because like, most of the time chase music is like some like orchestral things, like you'd heard like a John Williams movie or something. Yeah. But also does
like
depend.
Scream.
It does. Yeah, I know. It does depend on the killer though. It's like this guy just has just some metal music. I'm like, okay, that's like kind of cool. And so I played him when I was drunk. I played him because I was drunk because I knew that Legion's an easy killer. I still played like complete shit. And the funny thing is, there was a Twitch streamer in the lobby. So after it, I logged on to their Twitch chat and I typed in the endgame chat, GG's, I'm drunk. That's why I'm playing like shit. And he thought that was funny. Somebody in the stream, like in the chat, said, "Oh, the killer you were playing against was kind of cute." And I'm like, bro, someone just called me cute. What the fuck is this?
Just like gameplay? Your gameplay was cute?
Yeah, because I was playing like shit. Like I was literally running into walls and like swinging a knife like at the air because I was drunk and I couldn't see shit. I don't know what was going on, and it was just they thought it was cute. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
It's for the entertainment value.
Bro, I am drunk and I am being objectified. What the fuck is this? Like I don't know. It's just it's just.
Don't play video games while
Okay,
kids.
to be fair though, like one thing, another time was like, Another time where I said I wasn't gonna get drunk and I ended up doing that. I played Guilty Gear after having like 1 or 2 beers, and it actually helped a lot. It genuinely helped a lot. Cause like
if you're just on a buzz,
so
it can help.
when I was playing, like when you play like Chip, for example, Chip's a very stressful character because like the whole like fast movement, low health thing. So like he's very stressful because like at any moment you can just get hit. So and the fact that I had a couple of drinks in me, I was like, I can like focus a lot better and not worry about. I can just make quick decisions and not worry about that whole thing. Now it's I just had 2 drinks. I had about like 2 more of them basically, and it was like very tall like cans. I also think I had a bit of like a vodka as well, and I don't know what the fuck I was doing that day, but it's just like it's. Either you just have 1 or 2 beers, it does make you better at video games. Anything more than that, and you just cannot play anything for shit.
Yeah, I would say that's probably
I have
true.
A streamer on a Tuesday, and she was taking bites out of an edible gummy that was, I think, 20,000 milligrams. It was like
20,000.
It was like a giant one.
Dude.
And she was like just taking like bites out of it,
Oh,
and she was practicing this one Victor combo in Tekken for 5 hours.
Victor, dude, Victor is.
Most of the time, she just plays Dota 2 while drunk and screams at people.
Victor, okay, I don't know. Victor is such a cool character, but it's just like he's just so much shit going on. He's
French.
He's French John Wick.
He's French.
That is, and he has a weird laser. He's a French dude with a karambit, a handgun, and a laser katana.
He can teleport.
He is the old. Yeah, I gotta like fucking Noctis for that one because Noctis is a Final Fantasy character who is in Tekken 7. He is a war criminal. That is what he is. I hate.
You don't even need to say that part anymore.
Fucking war criminal. I hate him. Oh, and he's not like Brian, who's like an actual, like legit war criminal. Like just his gameplay is he is a war criminal, and I hate it so. I hate it so much because like this make it just he can Tekken 7, they added a sort of new archetype of characters called ranged space control, where they basically have either fast movement or projectiles on to teleport across the screen and hit you. It's called ranged space control, also known as flying through the air with some bullshit from 10 miles away. That's the official name for the archetype for ranged space control. Which I love. That makes sense. I love
like Dalsim.
Okay, Dalsim's more of a zoner. He's not.
Yeah,
that's true.
Dalsim's a zoner, but they don't have really zoners in like this game. Anyway, so Noctis is complete bullshit. I hate him so much. But there is one character under the range space control archetype that I really want in the game. So there's a character. Her name's Eliza. She's like a sort of vampire.
This is the first female character in Tekken we've mentioned today.
I mentioned Lily and how people.
Oh, right.
Well, it's because it's my favorite. Well, it's because my favorite one in the roster.
I always find it funny that we're talking about these like men like that have insane amounts of like power and then there are other like female characters in the game who are just like attractive and they just beat the shit out of them.
This is a character I want the most in the game. I will not elaborate because I think it speaks for itself. Anyway, so
is that never mind.
Is that
nothing.
Okay, yeah. It's okay. So her old Eliza is a like.
Is it Eliza or Eliza?
Eliza or Eliza.
Alisa,
I call her
a robot.
The game calls her Eliza, and basically she is a vampire. I don't know. I don't know what her I don't know where she's from. Based on her accent, probably Romania. I'm not really sure.
I mean, the stereotype
probably.
is Romania.
I don't know, but I can't really tell. It's just very vague European accent. So. Basically, her whole lore is that she fell asleep for 600 years and randomly woke up in like Lily's like basement somehow. Lily's character we mentioned earlier, and she just randomly woke up and it's like, what the fuck am I doing here? And the funny thing is, so she overslept by 600 years, which means she has like chronic narcolepsy, basically. So she's constantly tired, and like she has some moves where she just like falls asleep during the fight, basically. And like she's just really tired, and that's a funny thing.
She still beats the shit out of people.
The funny thing is, she is like completely overpowered, like probably the strongest character in the Tekken universe, but she can't fight at full strength because she has her sleep schedule has been ruined by about 600 years, and all of her intros either with some weird like seductive like, oh, I'm gonna suck your blood or something, and then either that or just straight up falling asleep. That is it. She just needs a nap. That is it. Like it's and I really want her back in the game because like I don't know, she had a very unique moveset and a lot of her combos really cool, and she had like a bunch of like dive kicks and stuff. Like she's cool, and she also kind of functions like a 2D fighting game character rather than like a 3D one. And it's an original character, so I don't need to have like licensing to bring out someone like Akuma or Geese, for example.
Yeah, well, those are guest characters.
They don't need to do that, so they can have that sort of style of 2D gameplay, which some people hated, some people actually really liked though. Which I don't know. It's like I thought Elise was a cool character. I think she should definitely be brought back. Also, she's very popular with cosplayers though, so like that's definitely.
I mean,
very popular. Yeah. So that's like that's kind of a reason to bring her back.
I recently got I should honestly like at this point
pick up Tekken 8, bro.
I should pick up like fighting games more in general, including Tekken 8, because recently I actually did get like 2 weeks ago, I think. Let me see if I can find the picture of it.
Wait, Frank, what's your phone? Samsung S22.
This is an S22.
I have the exact same phone. Holy shit! Oh shit! I have like the same color. Yeah, I have the same phone as you. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's the same phone.
Damn!
It's even the same color. Yeah.
Yeah, I just gotta have a different phone.
I have an iPhone SE, but it's got a little sticker. Of
God, I love
Kennedy.
that. I don't know. So the thing.
I bought this.
Fight stick. Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, you have a fight stick?
I got it from the antique mall in Ottawa Street. It's only $50. It's like for the old PlayStation.
Dude.
The lever is really good. The buttons are kind of shit.
Come over and play fighting games with me.
Dude.
I got guilty gear.
Dude,
Sure, let me know.
Hey, bro, I'm a massive weirdo. I play fighting games on a keyboard.
Yeah,
I mean, I
you're
could
nuts.
do that.
Okay, so here's why. It's like I've always found doing inputs on like a joystick very difficult for me. So like with keyboards, you can easily like press like the things and everything. It's very
like leverless.
It's very jarring for some people because like there's no levers. I'm like, bro, this is
You have to go like down, right?
I know you can like if you want to do like
quarter.
yeah, I know it's like you can just press 2 buttons to a quarter circle, and I really like it. And
I think I would actually find that easier.
It feels
too,
I don't know, it just feels a lot.
I've normally just play on like controller, and like it takes a
yeah, I
while, but
controller
like
too.
I've been like
I
most of
will
what
never
I
get
do
used-
is
I will
just
never get
like
used to playing
fucking
controller.
labbing in plus R.
Okay.
Which like I've got good at my inputs. I just can't remember which move is which.
I don't know. Oh,
So like my
it comes to
problem
time.
with Milia is that like I will jump into the air and then do like her double air dash and then be like, what move was I doing?
Yeah. Okay. So.
and then they hit me.
I'll be real with you. Fighting games are fighting. Okay, one thing I have to say, I have to warn you. Fighting games are very hard, and they are awful for new players when it comes to like learning everything because of how competitive they are. And
it can be fun.
Here's the thing. Okay, so like just like every other video game, level 1 is not going to be the most fun. Like obviously, but once you get to level like 80, for example, then things get like really fun. You can see why people like these games. So much.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I love arcade
more
games in
fun
general.
off the bat. Like it's all about like depending on like your mindset.
Unless it doesn't click, like sometimes it's got to like click for you kind of because like so how I got into fighting games was it was during the pandemic. I had this one really like shitty laptop where I would just like kind of like play like games on. And the first fighting game I remember, like I was like, dude, the pandemic is so boring. I don't have any like video games or anything because I just have this like shitty ass laptop. I don't have any my Xbox like broken and stuff because like I used to live in Russia basically, and there's like I plugged into like sort of like a bad power adapter to the Xbox and it completely destroyed it. And I was like,
shit.
I could don't buy black market stuff. Don't do that. And anyway, so this laptop is like really shitty, but it can actually like run games on like certain graphic settings. So the first thing I did, like first game, I literally saved up like $40 worth of like allowance and shit, and I literally bought Street Fighter 5 like on my computer and everything. I bought that and I was like, yo, damn, this is really good. And the character that I stuck with most of the time for playing Street Fighter 5 was Kage. Or Evil Ryu, or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, Evil Ryu.
I thought he was. I don't know. It's just cool. I constantly swap between like different characters because I never really established him. Maybe he's probably Kage was like probably the closest thing I had. But like I mostly played. I played Juri a lot, who ended up being my main in Street Fighter 6 until I switched to a different character. It was the character I switched to in Street Fighter 6. There's this character named Aki. She's like an assassin who like uses like poison and stuff, and she uses snake style kung fu, and she takes it very literally because a lot of movies have her slithering on the ground like a snake, and it's so like creepy looking, and she looks like the girl from The Exorcist. And I think it's awesome because like there's like I love horror movie inspired characters that are in non-horror pieces of media. And that's who Aki is. Like she is like a crazy ass like assassin who poisons people, and that's her whole thing. Like she has a mechanic where certain attacks inflict poison, which kind of lower your health. And if she hits you, No, well, Fang. She is actually.
She's the new
She is
Fang.
Fang's students, actually. Same master.
People didn't like Fang because he was too gay.
No, it wasn't because he was gay. People just people just found him annoying in general because he had a really scummy play style, and like people found his voice annoying, and it's just like
Was he shit though?
he was complete shit though. He was so annoying to fight against, so that's a thing that made. But the thing with Aki is that she's significantly cooler because her poison, like she has these weird like fingered like nail blade things that inject poison to people. It's like she doesn't actually throw any punches. She's just kind of like does this shit, you know?
It's not range,
like it's like
Fang.
it's like snakes up. Well, she
Mid
range
throw poison balls.
she has she's like a mid-range sort of set play character, but she does have some combos, although she's very good at Oki and like setups and things like that. And when you poison someone and you hit them with another poison attack, it does a burst of damage that you can like and it launches them in the air and you can combo into it and stuff. Okay. She's not a very good character. She's not very good, but I love everything about this character. Her gameplay's fun. Like she has a very unique style where she like sort of sets up poison. I love her design. Like she's like, you know what I mean? Like just the way her animations, like, you know, snake style kung fu, but like also like literally slithering across the ground like the girl from The Exorcist. And she has this one move with like a command grab where usually when it's command grab, they like kind of grabbing, like slamming on the ground or something. Aki just straight up, like she's insanely flexible, just wraps her entire body around your neck and just chokes you out. That is creepy as hell, but it's really cool though. That is like, I don't know. I just like, that's a character I main. I am probably, I don't know if I'm going to main for very long because there's one other character who's coming out. His name's Ed. He's like a boxer.
Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah, basically. He essentially, he is a boxer who is a clone of this one evil guy named M. Bison who then escaped. And he is a boxer, but the thing is, because he's a clone of M. Bison, he has a thing called psycho power, which he's just a boxer with like crazy ass superpowers, basically. And he was trained and raised by a guy named Balrog, who was like also a boxer, but he's kind of a dick because he's a guy who only really cares about like money and stuff and like hurting people for money. He instilled these values in Ed at a very young age. Basically, he's like, listen, kid, all that matters is that you gotta hustle, you know? By any means necessary. You know?
Bread.
Like, I was talking to him like,
the dough.
I don't know what it is. I'm like, I don't know if Balrog is either the worst father in the world or the best father in the world. Because, yeah, he sucked because he didn't care about this random kid who escaped from a lab and has, like, constant PTSD nightmares about being experimented on. But he also literally told him the most important values. He taught him how to fight, first off, and also, which I think is kind of an important skill as well. And also, he taught him that money is everything, okay? Just understand that right now.
Which is...
money and punching
understandable
people.
In certain contexts.
He's like, money and punching people
like
are very important. Understand that. And Ed was like, damn, yeah. And the funny thing is, because of the psycho power, when he was like a very like when he was like in his like late teens, he was insanely buff for some reason because of his psycho power and everything. But they redesigned
very recently branching out into twinks.
Okay, they redesigned him in Street Fighter 6 where I'm looking at him and I'm like, dude, what happened to this guy? Like
he's still like buff, but he's normal.
He's
buff
not
now.
Well, okay, so I've noticed like he has lost a significant amount of muscle mass basically somehow. And
art style change.
I think this is kind of like
we're naming this episode.
This is what it looks like basically.
Lore.
This is Ed right here.
Okay.
Not very. Yeah, he just has my haircut I had in grade 12. This guy. This is Ed right here. He looks so yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, my god. He's so emo.
I know. Yeah. Okay. This is what he. Okay. This is what he used to look like. He used to just be like some just random buff guy in like a military uniform.
Okay. Well, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
He used to be some buff guy in like a military uniform and stuff. And yeah. So what happened? Like he used to be insanely buff, but like I don't know what happened. This guy looks like he's dying. Like just the shit around his eyes and stuff, and like the fact he's so skinny now is like
a drug addict.
My theory is that the psycho power is that he had is so much for just this one dude that it's literally destroying his body basically. Because that's the thing that M. Bison worried about. That's why he was making so many like clones and stuff. So like he can like transcend past his own body and stuff like that and be able to have as much psycho power as he wants. Ed can't do it. He is basically like dying and stuff, and that got me thinking that like, you know, maybe a cool game mechanic. I don't know if this is gonna like they're gonna show off his gameplay today, and I don't know like I don't know if they're actually gonna do this. One idea came up with that certain attacks take off his health basically. And like, but in exchange, like certain attacks, like he loses health, but if he lands other attacks, he like gains a bit back, basically. So like, what kind of shows like he has so much power under him, but he can't really handle any of it. And like, I think it's like I don't know.
Unless the punches land.
No, it's just like, and also one thing I noticed is like. They called him. This is something I noticed. Like I noticed like some fighting games have like pop culture reference and stuff, which I really like. And for this game, so that Ed has been described as like the bad boy of like boxing, essentially, which is actually like I didn't think much of it. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, that's a fucking Karate Kid reference. Okay, so in the third Karate Kid movie, there's a character named Mike Barnes who's called the bad boy of karate, basically.
M. Barnes.
Mike Barnes. He's good bad boy of karate. And I was like, that is a reference. Oh yeah, but in case you I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai recently. Like I binged the entire series, basically, like for all 5 seasons of it, and they're releasing the 60. I love this show. It's so dumb. Like Cobra Kai is such a stupid ass show because the general premise is 2 middle-aged men who have hated each other since high school brainwash kids using karate to ruin each other's lives, and it just spirals completely out of control. Like, it literally just starts off with, like, them kind of, they start their own dojos and they're competing in karate tournaments, and then it starts off with, like, this one psychopath who just kind of shows up out of nowhere. Actually, well, 2 psychopaths, but one of them is significantly worse and betrays the other one. And he just kind of shows up out of nowhere and wants to be, I want Cobra Kai to, like, I want to expand this shit worldwide, so basically, I'm gonna make every kid a complete asshole. Why not? And like they just blow everything out of proportion. Like this is just a bunch of middle-aged men doing karate fights against each other, and they're just blowing this shit way out of proportion. Because there was this one time.
How else are you gonna?
And there's this one episode. Okay, so the main villain is a guy named John Kreese from like, and then he got betrayed and sent to prison by a guy named Terry Silver, who is my favorite Karate Kid villain. He was the villain in the 3rd movie. I don't know. He's just a complete like traitorous, like manipulative psychopath, and I think he's really cool, basically. Okay, but yeah, I think he's cool, but just like this guy can ruin. This guy's whole thing is literally going behind the shadows and like putting off a facade of being like he's like this rich like philanthropist guy. He has a sort of image
never
that
trust rich people.
He has a sort of image that he like.
Did I show you that bit from like martial law and Tekken 8? Part of his like intro is like he goes like I hate rich people.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the thing with Terry is that he has this image of like the super rich guy, but he literally can ruin your life in an instant. He has so many connections. Like
a common thing that my sister and I have started saying when talking about billionaires is just based on like the track record is like if you're a billionaire, he's probably a child molester. Arrest that man and seize his assets.
He's not a billionaire. He's normal. He's like normal rich. He's not
normal rich.
He's not like a billionaire or anything. But yeah, this guy. His whole thing is that he will act like a nice guy and then completely ruin your life. One time he was super hungover and assaulted this random guy trying to join his dojo for no reason because he was like super hungover and kind of angry and he's like, you want to join Cobra Kai? Oh yeah, you're pathetic and like weak and stuff. He curb stomped this guy and forced him to lie to a judge and said his partner John Kreese is the one who like assaulted him and he got John sent to jail basically. And this guy can just ruin people's lives just in an instant, basically, and he's just like such a complete psycho, and I love it. I love villains like that, you know.
Dude, speaking of jail, have I mentioned my favorite Ralph Macchio movie?
What is it?
My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, okay.
It is genuinely a really fucking good movie. It's about Joe Pesci is a bad. He's a lawyer, and his cousin is being accused of a murder in Alabama. And he has to
average Alabama moment.
It's genuinely, it's just a really fucking good law movie.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Now, we are running out of time here.
Oh shit, really?
So, well, I mean, we only have 8 minutes in the room booking, so I think we'll have to hang it up here.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a fighting game lore or lore in general.
Yeah.
See you next time on vibesradio.nation.
We've clearly decided we're Cock Radio.
Cock Radio.
Cock Radio.
That's the new name of the podcast.
Yeah, welcome back to Cock Radio, everybody, where we only play penis music.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.